Have you seen an example of things that were starting to go south and then the seller kind of did a self-correct and was able to bring things back and successfully sell their business in spite of maybe having a hiccup or oops, I wasn't being transparent about that, or oh, I get it that my expectations were too high, or whatever. Have you seen people kind of bring it back from the brink and still be able to move forward?
I had, yeah, a couple of deals this year that were kind of on the brink of falling apart, and we actually got the train back on the tracks and got the business closed. One of them was uh, we're selling a business that we had placed a valuation on of X, and we got the buyer to agree to the purchase price, and then the closing process took a lot of time for a lot of reasons. COVID being one of them, and uh, importing from China. Just dealing with logistics and global shutdowns and what have you. It was crazy last year. Uh, Ended up having this leading to this process being dragged out over months and months and months. A 30-day process, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. And the business was a very successful business, and it continued to make money, and its trajectory continued to move in the right direction. The seller wanted to be compensated for, the valuation that we had placed on the business when we struck a deal with the buyer. Now it's 3 months later, the business has made this much more money. I want this much more money. I can justify it. And we went through this whole process like 2 or 3 times. And at some point, the buyer was like, listen, I mean, we can't keep doing this. We're going to close a deal. This is the final price, and we're not going to adjust it anymore, or we're going to walk away. And it took a few conversations with the seller to just reiterate the fact that we were so far down the path. We had such a good deal with this buyer that the risk of walking away from this and trying to then go back to the market and start the process all over again and try to achieve a higher exit. I mean, the risks there were way outweighed what we had on the table in front of us, and kind of decided to, okay, let's finish this transaction and be done with it. So that was one where, an unreasonable seller may have said, you know what, forget it. My business is worth 2 times what we're getting for it. So I'm going to go back out and test the market and let's go. And I've had that happen in the past. I mean, not in the past year, but years ago, I've had that happen where, we've gotten to the finish line and seller just says, you know what, this isn't as good a deal as I think I could get. You go back to market, and then, powers that be. The sales start to decline, seller starts to lose interest because they thought they had their business sold, and now they have to, you're back putting 40 hours a week into a business that you were trying to unload for whatever reason, and you end up discounting your business and selling it